Welcome to Pittsburgh, Jake. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I think you're at Pitt football first. You're the first Pitt football recruit to reference Andrew Carnegie when you made a commitment on Twitter. Tell me about your connection to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, definitely. My dad is from Pittsburgh, so he grew up here. His parents grew up here, so it goes back to my family history for generations. My dad actually went to Central Catholic, um, and he didn't go to Pitt. He actually went to Penn State. But all of his brothers went to Central Catholic. His best friends went to Pitt. And my grandparents still live here along with his brothers. So I'm constantly back in the area. My dad would always take me down to Central Catholic. We would always tour Pitt, that kind of stuff. So as long as I can remember, Pittsburgh has been a huge part of my life. And I fell in love with the city at a very young age. So I couldn't be more excited to be here.
What can you take from your experiences? You grew up in New Jersey but played at IMG this year. I mean, that's a big time high school with a lot of different opportunities. What did you kind of learn from this season?
Yeah, definitely. So going down IMG was obviously a big decision. I felt very connected to my old high school, so it was hard to leave. But going down there, I mean, I can't think of a better place to get ready for the next level. It's just everything is taken so seriously, and in a lot of ways, it's just like college. So for me personally, it helped me develop as a player, just competing against some of the best talent in the country on a daily basis, every day at practice. Some of the best, coaching staff in the country, but also it helped me develop as a person because I'm out there living on my own and that kind of stuff. So in a lot of ways, it replicates like the college experience.
Jake, most high school kids plant themselves in their high school and stay there for the whole time. You went to a different high school at IMG and moved to Florida. Now you enrolled at Pitt early. All that movement around and all those decisions you had to make, how's that help you grow as a person?
It's helped me tremendously. Obviously I stay in touch with everybody back at my old high schools and that kind of stuff. But football has always been a huge part of my life, and anything I can do to excel and to better myself is definitely the path I'm going to take. So going mid-year, that was a big decision. It was a hard decision, but I knew that was the right move for me. So in a lot of ways, it definitely helps me mature. Living out on my own, like I said, IMG was really my first taste of living out on my own, and I'm thankful for it. And now I'm here in Pittsburgh, and in a lot of ways, I actually feel closer to home because like my grandparents still live here, so they're 5 minutes down the road and that kind of stuff. But I constantly feel like I'm maturing, and every day just being down here on my own, definitely feel like I'm maturing. So.
Jake, when you got the offer from Pitt, what was kind of going through your head at that point?
Yeah, so I was previously committed to Michigan State. I was committed there for a couple months, but Pitt was recruiting me before I committed there, and the offer came after I committed to Michigan State. So I remained in contact with them, and Pitt was always really at the top of my list for a lot of reasons. But when that offer came, I couldn't have been more excited. It was just a couple months before the season started down at IMG, so I really had to kind of turn around and make a quick decision. But I knew like that if they ever, Pitt ever came to the table, that was the offer I was taking, and that's what I did. So it really wasn't a hard decision for me. They called me, they informed me that I had an offer, and I pretty much knew what I wanted to do right the second I hung up the phone. So.
You said you had gone on tours at Pitt and stuff. Growing up. I mean, how early are we talking? You talking 5 years old, 6 years old? I mean, when was the first time you came to campus? And have you ever gone to Pitt games before? When you were like a kid.
Right. So I was always in Pittsburgh, from, ever since I was 2 or 3, just because I had family here. So we come up for Christmases and stuff like that. But I really started, exploring Pitt probably, around 7th grade. I've been to a couple Pitt games in middle school and high school, and that kind of stuff. But I've always been in Pittsburgh just, from a very young age. So I'm very familiar with the city.
You said your grandparents are 5 minutes down the road. How excited are they to have you here? Are they offering to bring you stuff all the time? Like, just tell me how excited they are to have you in town.
Yeah, they're definitely excited. I think that I might be more excited because, grandma's obviously down the road making me more food than I can probably eat, but my roommates are pretty excited about it too. So like yesterday was actually my birthday. So they're 5 minutes away. So it's just a quick little ride, and they, wanted me to come down, and they had like a little birthday celebration, so that kind of stuff. And that's kind of like just, the big stuff and the important stuff. And part of the reason I'm so excited to be here is because you have people like that in your life. Like when I was down at Florida, I loved that experience, but I didn't really have any family down there. So I'm definitely surrounded by family here, and little stuff like that, like the 5 minute down the road that, that really makes the experience. So.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Jake, what's it like playing for Coach Salem?
I love Coach Salem. We have meetings, a lot of the time, and even before I was coming down here, it just, little stuff like helps me get involved in the program, and he has so much energy, and it really just feeds off into the entire tight end room. And, I just love it here. I love the group. I love the coaching staff. I just love everything about it. So.
Jake, it seems like you might be the popular guy. You have grandma's cooking down the road and a car. That's what Gavin said. How close are you with those guys already? Like Gavin and I think he said Trey Anderson.
Yeah, definitely. So it's really been a great experience. I think from the second we all stepped on campus, we just felt at home and, a bunch of different ways. And we really developed like a really close relationship right off the bat. So constantly, whether it's just going out to eat, hanging out, going running routes on our own, we've really formed a strong relationship. And, it's just, I think it's great that we formed it so early because we're going to be here for 4 years and those relationships are going to carry out through the rest of our life. So.
Jake, you guys are going through your winter conditioning right now. How early in the morning do you get started on that?
Yeah, they're pretty early. So usually if we have running in the morning, that'll start at about 6:30, which we've only had a couple times so far. But we also have lifts in the morning, and we do it by position groups. So my position group, tight ends, along with the linebackers and quarterbacks, usually lift at 8 o'clock. So it really depends on the day and what we have planned. Obviously, we just have a lift that day. We'll wake up and head over here for breakfast and get here around 7 o'clock. But obviously, if we have running, it's a little bit earlier in the day. So
obviously, you got to get to bed early the night before, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And that's part of being mature too. So you got to take care of that.